Today is lesson 5-7, describing number patterns. In order to find number patterns, what it's called using inductive reasoning. Inductive reasoning is making conclusions based on patterns that you observe or find or see. A conclusion you reach then by the inductive reasoning is called a conjecture. So example number 1 wants you to extend the number patterns. So it says use inductive reasoning to describe each pattern. Then find the next two numbers in each pattern. So basically, to use inductive reasoning, you just look at it and you can see the pattern. From 2 to 5, I'm adding 3. 5 to 8 is also adding 3. And 8 to 11 is adding 3. So my pattern here, I can see, is you add 3 each time. It then says find the next two numbers. Well, 11 plus 3 is 14. 14 plus 3 is 17. So my next two numbers are 14 and 17. On B, from 2 to 4, you could say it's add 2, but if I do 4 plus 2, that doesn't give me 8. So adding 2 this time does not work. So 2 times 2 is 4. 4 times 2 is 8. And 8 times 2 is 16. So my pattern here would be to multiply by 2. Well, 16 times 2 is 32. And 32 times 2 is 64. So my next two numbers in the pattern are 32 and 64. On C then, we have 1, 4, 9, and 16. This is one of the harder ones for some students to see. My first term is 1 squared. My second term is 2 squared. My third term is 3 squared. And my fourth term is 4 squared. So they're taking the number term and squaring it. So my fifth term is 5 squared, which is 25. My sixth term is 6 squared, which is 36. So my next two numbers in the sequence are 25. Oh, and why did I write 32? I hope I said 36. 6 squared is 36. So my next two numbers in the pattern, sorry about that, are 25 and 36. A number pattern is also called a sequence. So this is just knowing some vocabulary here we're adding in. Each number in a sequence is called a term of the sequence. One kind of number sequence is called an arithmetic sequence. You form an arithmetic sequence by adding a fixed number to the previous term. The fixed number is called the common difference. So if we look at the first three that we did here, we're going to look, are any of these an arithmetic sequence? Remember, an arithmetic is adding a number. This first one is an arithmetic sequence because we added 3. The second one is not an arithmetic because we multiplied by 2. And the third, we squared it, so that's not adding. So it's also not an arithmetic sequence. Example number 2 wants us to find the common difference. That must mean that it is an arithmetic sequence. So if I look here, I'm adding 4 each time. Well, because I'm adding 4 each time, the common difference here is 4. On B then, I am subtracting 5 each time. Well, subtracting the 5 is the same as adding negative 5. So my common difference here is negative 5. Example number 3 then is if you have an arithmetic sequence, you can basically find any term you want by using the following formula. So for an arithmetic sequence, you can use the first term, the term number, and the common difference to find the value of any given term. So you will need this rule right here. I would suggest putting it on a note card to make it easy to find and make it able to use on a quiz and test. So we basically, on this next one, want to find the 10th term of the sequence. It has the following rule. So basically, the first term must have been 32, and the common difference here is 5. They already set it up for us. We want to find the 10th term, so I need to take this in out and plug in 10. If I replace that in with 10 and I put it in my calculator, I get that the 10th term is equal to 77. Okay, if we want to use this idea and look at example 1a, because it was an arithmetic sequence, so I'm just throwing an extra example here. 1a from up above had the sequence 2, 5, 8, 11. The common difference there is that you're adding 3. So to plug it into this rule, I just want to show you how you plug it in since they did the plugging in for us on this example. We can find, let's say we want to find the 20th term. The 20th term would be equal to the first term, which is 2, plus, make sure you put in your parentheses, the term number we're trying to find. We're trying to find the 20th term. Minus 1 times the common difference, which in this case, the common difference is 3. So we can put that all in our calculator at once. We put in 2 plus parentheses, 20 minus 1 times 3. If we do that, we get that the 20th term for this sequence, if we were to go ahead and keep writing it out, would be 59. So that is how you use your rule to find any term in an arithmetic sequence. You can go ahead now and complete the quick checks for 5-7, and then look at your schedule to find out what your assignment will be for this section.